for joining us today. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us for the Louis Vuitton America's Cup Challenger Playoff semifinals. Ben, I'd like to begin. What an incredible campaign. Would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of the team today. It's been an amazing journey for us. 3.5 years ago, a few of us were sitting around a table in an office in London with nothing more than a few ideas and some support from a few early investors like Sir Charles Dunstan and Sir Keith Mills. And what we've achieved from there is phenomenal, really. And okay, we bow out today. We didn't ultimately get that America's Cup home. We knew it was going to be incredibly tough at the first attempt. But certainly where the team has come from, even in the last couple of months, the performance gains that we've made is a huge credit to everyone in the team. I think about our designers, our engineers, our shore team. The guys have been working endless nights in the shed to get the boat in the best possible position for us as sailors to go out and race hard on the water. And so, yeah, huge credit to the whole team. Congratulations to Emirates Team New Zealand. They're a fantastic team. They've proven they've got a great package, and we wish them all the best for the rest of the competition.
What do you think were some of the key aspects that impacted your results?
I think ultimately our development, we weren't able to catch up with the existing teams in time, and we've seen that with Team France, Groupama Team France, which was the other sort of genuinely new team in this competition. And catching up with those years and years of experience and expertise in engineering design is incredibly difficult. And our team, I would say we were the most improved team performance-wise through this competition, which again is a huge credit to everyone involved. And it shows the potential that we have for the future. And I'm really pleased to be able to sit here and announce that today Land Rover have re-signed with the team as our title and exclusive innovation partner. 11th Hour Racing, which is a program of the Smith Family Foundation, has also announced a re-signing for the next campaign. And given that it's World Ocean Day, I think to re-sign a sustainability partner like that alongside Land Rover, our shareholders and investors and other supporters, sponsors, to have that commitment that we can roll through. Already the work is starting on the next campaign, and we will be that much stronger next time.
We look forward to seeing it. I'd like to open the floor for questions. Please raise your hand and state your name and outlet. Tom?
Hello, Tom Carey, Telegraph. It's been a bit of a roller coaster campaign, from the start. Do you think today sort of summed that up with the huge lead you had in that first race, and then losing that one and coming back and winning the next one to suggest that you could maybe push it on for another day, and then the final defeat, is that an accurate representation?
I look back through the whole campaign. I said it's incredible what the team has achieved, on and off the water. When I look to the racing here, we have been in a position where to win races, we've absolutely had to nail it. We've had to have the perfect start, perfect handling, and the boat be in the perfect position. And whereas some of the guys we've been racing against have had the luxury of perhaps being able to get away with one or two mistakes and still get past us. So, the professionalism of the team, given the pressure, the expectation that we've been under, and the difficulties that we've had, I can't say more of our team. The approach that everyone across the board has put in to this campaign, the work they put in, the effort. They're an amazing team, and we will be an incredibly strong team in the future.
Ron Lewis here.
Hi, Ben. Looking back over the last sort of couple of years, is there anything you think straight off now it's all over, you'd have done differently?
A lot of things we would have done differently. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? I think, as I said earlier, the design, the technology, catching up with existing teams, putting a brand new group of designers, engineers together, and then being able to get those tools up and running and working has been a huge challenge. And it's a well-known fact in the America's Cup for first-time teams that this is a big challenge. We've had a lot of experience in the team, past America's Cup winners, expertise from Formula One and other industries, very much a best of British in terms of design and engineering. Like I said, where we've come from, I think our designers and engineers have done an incredible job, frankly, and we're only just starting to scratch the surface of the potential of the team. And again, we've seen that through our gains in performance from 2 months ago, where frankly we couldn't get around the course, to now taking on teams like Emirates, Team New Zealand, and being competitive. That is an incredible effort.
Back there in the corner.
Hi, Matt Sheehan, World Sailing Show. Ben, just following on from that technology thing, you've seen quite a few cups and from very different angles. How much has this cup been about the technology, and are the differences that we're seeing out on the water down to technology, or is it still good old-fashioned crew work?
I think this cup has been as much as any cup in recent history, or I've witnessed, about the technology and engineering. These boats are so sophisticated now that you've seen if there's one failure in the systems on the boat, or the boat's not quite set up quite right in certain conditions, what is a very strong and solid team can very quickly look like an average team. And these are the tolerances now are so tiny between success and failure, and it's an incredible game to be a part of. Personally, I've learned so much about design, technology, and engineering through working with our guys. They're an incredible bunch. I know that we can be that much stronger with the support that we've got with the likes of Land Rover as our title exclusive innovation partner. That sort of expertise behind us now puts us in a very strong position for the next campaign.
Yes, Sir Ben. Colin Thompson, Royal Gazette, Bermuda. Back in February, when Rita was christened, if you recall, the christening didn't quite go according to plan, and they say it's bad luck when that happens. Is it safe to say now you're superstitious, given all the drama that you and your teammates have endured over the past several weeks?
Well, that is true. When we launched our boat, the champagne bottle didn't smash. But I also noted, looking back in history, that Team New Zealand back in 1995, when they absolutely walked the park on everyone, I went unbeaten. The champagne didn't smash on that boat either. So, I'm not a superstitious guy. It was, a bit of an embarrassing moment, but the team have done an incredible job. On the shore, out on the water. What we've created. The 1851 Trust, which is helping young kids get into design and engineering. The Land Rover BAR Academy, which again is helping young kids get in through sailing into the America's Cup, have that pathway. And a young guy like Neil Hunter, who's made that jump already, was racing with us in the senior team. And we wish our Land Rover Academy all the best with the upcoming Youth America's Cup. I've got nothing but great memories of this campaign, of the team, and I'm just so excited about where we're going in the future. I'd also, thanks for the question, Colin, coming from you, I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Bermuda for putting on an incredible event here. They've been such welcoming hosts. We've been here for 6 months. They're just the most amazing people. What they put on here, the sailing that we've had, I think this is turning out to be one of the best America's Cups certainly in recent times, if not ever.
Elaine Bunting from Yachting World. Ben, looking forward, do you think that the class as it now is the right design, or would you like to see any changes?
I think this America's Cup class has proven through this competition to be an incredible boat. There's a lot of question marks about multi-hulls and match racing, and I think that's been, proven that they are great boats for the racing that we're doing. Incredible spectacle, both out on the water and televisually. There are probably a few tweaks that we can make to the boat to make it more compatible across a wider wind range, and I know the teams are looking at how we can improve that. But other than that, I think they're a fantastic technological challenge, and physically for the sailors out there, wow, it's a huge challenge, but when you get it right, it's so rewarding.
Hi, Sir Ben. Chris Museler from the New York Times. I remember a picture from the Bermuda Gold Cup when you guys used to race those boats, and you had gotten eliminated earlier on in the series, and there's a great picture from the back of those boats, you reaching across, giving a handshake. Can't remember who it was, and it really stuck with me. And then, fast forward, and it seems like the competition is really cutthroat, the more professionalism in sailing. But thinking about that, thinking about the kind of sportsmanship you exhibited and the other teams exhibited when Team New Zealand capsized, it seems like this group of professional sailors are going through these evolutions and these frights and all this stuff together. Do you think that this group of skippers that you've been sailing against for a little while now, is it a little bit of a different atmosphere than the competition you've been at before? Is it a little bit more of a camaraderie because you understand how dangerous it is and how fragile the whole experience is at the moment?
Yeah, that's a good point. The America's Cup does have an amazing history and a lot of intrigue in that history. Certainly, you make a good point. These boats are so tough to sail. They're on the edge the whole time, and there's a lot of respect, I think, amongst the sailors of just how difficult that is. And when something goes wrong, like Emirates Team New Zealand capsizing, you didn't see many people crowing about it or blaming Peter Burling or his crew, because we know just as easily it could be us the next day. And that's just how hard you have to push these boats, and mistakes are going to happen. But like I said, when you push them and you get it right, that's one of the most rewarding experiences I've had in my sailing career. And I think the Cup, with these boats, with these sailors, this format has got a huge potential for the future.
Luca Bontempelli, La Gazzetta dello Sport. Ben, you are the best sailor in the world, and you all know how much you hate to lose. And could you please share a bit more of your deeper feeling? After all, you are a second from the bottom.
Yeah, well, I look at the team. Like I say, I'm so proud of the team of what they've achieved, and in my position, I put the team together. I'm responsible for the team, win or lose. And so, you need to stay strong. You need to keep the team together. Like I said, we're already working on the next campaign. So we've got a great group of guys. We're bitterly disappointed to lose races and not continue through this competition. But that's sport, and the America's Cup is a tough game. We talked about how hard it is to win for the first time, but I know with the group that we've got, the support that we've now got, we're going to be a really, really strong outfit for many years to come.
Any other questions? Richard?
Hi, Richard Gladwell from Sarworld. So Ben, what happens now? Do you pack up and go back to England, or are you going to keep sailing out to the end of the Cup?
We pack up our operations now. There's a big job, obviously, for the team to get everything squared away. We will keep a core team here, analysing, reviewing the racing here. Obviously, depending on who wins this next America's Cup, then very quickly moving on to, how we set ourselves up for the next campaign. And again, that is going to depend slightly on the next team that's successful. But should Emirates Team New Zealand win, and I'd say they've got a very good chance of winning, knowing Grant Dalton well, the team, their commerciality, I fully expect them to push the America's Cup forwards and have a quick turnaround, as we're expected to if any of the other teams win. So, like I said, I think where we're getting to this journey, the America's Cup in recent times, is really positive for the Cup, for the sport of sailing, and it's an exciting future.
You said that you are ready for the second campaign. What if New Zealand win and goes to monohull? You will be part of the game anyway?
Well, if New Zealand do win and they would change the Cup to monohulls, that's obviously their choice. I would be surprised if they did that, given they would have won in multi-hulls. They have high-performance sailors. Again, they know the commerciality of the America's Cup as a commercial team. I would expect them to keep in some form of multi-hull and try and turn the Cup around quickly. But ultimately, we've got the expertise, we've got the support, so we can react accordingly, and we will be there in the next America's Cup, and we will be a very strong team.
Peter, I'd like to get started with you. Congratulations. How much pressure did you feel from the British today?
Yeah, well, I think firstly, absolutely incredible effort by our short team to get us back out there today. Obviously, we had a fair bit of damage the other day, but they've all dug pretty deep to get the boat back on the water and to get it incredibly close to 100%. So full credit to them. I think also to Ben, he's put together an amazing campaign, and they put a great day together today to really push us along. But for ourselves, we were really happy to get it done in that final race with a good start and a really solid race. So, it's something that gives the shore crew a day off tomorrow, which is pretty needed.
Thank you. Was the capsize in the back of your mind at all today?
Yeah, it was obviously something that's going to be in the back of your mind for a long time now. But for ourselves, we've got like I said before, an incredible bunch of shore team and designers, and everyone really pitched in and gave us that encouragement to get out there and push the boat hard again. And definitely we're trying to take it as easy as we could in the first couple of races, but then as the breeze died off a little bit in that last one, we really let loose.
And final question, how confident are you feeling toward winning the Cup?
Yeah, well, that's definitely what we've come here to do. That's our goal, and for ourselves, it's really nice to have that day in the shed tomorrow to be able to work on the boat and get prepared for the finals. And we're really watching a really interesting battle unfold. Between Artemis and SoftBank, and I think both of them are sailing incredibly well. So we're under no illusions that we're going to be in for a big fight in the final, but we're really happy with how the boat's going at the moment, and really happy to have it back in one piece.
Thank you. Nathan, congratulations on a hat trick today. Knowing it could have been your exit, how nervous were you entering into today?
We weren't very nervous at all, to be honest, going into today. Obviously with the third race put on, it could have been the potential exit, and for sure it also could have gone the way it did for us in the end. And so, we were quietly confident today. We had to have a good look at the boat and how we sailed it a couple of days ago, because it was pretty subpar. And by not racing yesterday, it allowed us to make a few little tweaks and just to understand the equipment a little bit better. And today we went out and the boat performed really nicely, and we rewarded the whole team by sailing the boat very well as well.
And obviously an incredible game changer in that last race. Would you like to describe the penalty?
Yeah, that last one was an incredibly tight race. Dean and the boys did a great job on the start and were fending us off the whole way around, and we got a little shift go our way on that final beat and managed to force a dial down, and then top mark approach was going to be tight. And we've been studying a lot of the footage, and we've seen a lot of people come in on port and get it wrong and lose the race because of that. So that tack position is quite critical, and we knew that the left mark was favoured. We knew there was going to be an overlap and a position here, and we've been practicing that manoeuvre a lot, the last minute tack inside. And to be honest, I think we could have pulled it off a bit better. I was a bit disappointed that we didn't get it spot on, but I think Dean left us a very small amount of room, and we managed to squeeze our way in there, and the umpires awarded us the penalty. So not much more to say than that. Very happy with the outcome.
Thank you. Dean, is there anything you'd like to add about that final call?
Yeah, we really need to review the footage just to see. I felt like there was enough room there, and we were a little bit surprised when we got the penalty, but obviously umpires must have felt strongly that was the way it should be, should go, and if that's the case, then you accept it and get on with it.
Thank you. It was a challenging day, obviously. How do you regroup and come back fighting tomorrow?
Everyone's very positive. It's it's obviously never good when you don't want to point on a day. It's it's frustrating for everyone, but we take a lot of heart. The boat was going well. I made 2 errors in the first 2 starts just to let them get away, and we kept sort of coming back at them, but they were sailing really strong races. So it was actually hard to find a an opportunity to try and pass, and then we bounced back well in the third one, and we had a really good race. Obviously, the top mark sort of ended up costing us any chance of winning. So it's frustrating, but we're right there, and we know that it's not going to take a lot to go out and win tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll open it up to the floor. Again, as a reminder, please raise your hand and let us know your name and outlet. Todd, here.
Todd Nile, Radio New Zealand. For Peter. Peter, the second race looked a bit hairy. What was going on there?
Yeah, well, I think the first race was, relatively hairy as well, but we did a great job of, clawing our way back into it and getting that win, which proved to be pretty important as the day played out. But yeah, that second race, Ben sailed a really good race. I think everyone's been saying, how people have been improving through these events, and no, we didn't quite get over the top of him down the reach, and then he didn't give us many opportunities to pass. So I think that shows you, how tight the racing is. If you do get it wrong, any team can lose. And no, we're also, really pleased by the fight he did give us, and I think that definitely, puts us into a lot better mindset, kind of going into the next stage. But for ourselves, we're really happy to win that last start and to sail a really clean race.
Hi, Peter. Colin Thompson, Royal Gazette. Back in that first race, I believe you had some issues with your port dagger board in the pre-start, and then you had to overcome a considerable lead. I thought you guys dug really deep to pull that one off. Was that a morale booster to overcome, those adversities, challenges?
Yeah, well, I think for ourselves, we're still not quite sure what happened in that pre-start, why the lure dagger ball came up, but no, it's definitely something that I think we dealt with it really well, and just dug deep, did the things we probably should have done in the second race. We sailed the shifts really well, and kept the boat in the modes it should be in, and I think that was full credit to all the guys, and it's been a massive push by our shore team to get us back out on the water with a boat that's in as good a shape as the one we've got. So now to be able to close it out today was a bit of a pleasure for them, and to give them the chance tomorrow now to finish off the little details before the finals is pretty exciting.
Next question. Back in the corner, and then back to Todd.
Hi, Matt Sheehan of the World Sailing Show. Question for Dean. Dean, you talked about the penalty, and you're going to need to have a look at that footage again to find out, to go and have a look for your own satisfaction. I just wonder, coming into those marks, you're coming in at such blistering pace now that it seems that it's split-second decisions, and I just wonder how it feels from your end. Do you think the game has really changed as sailors? Things happen so fast now compared to what they did before in the penalties and the rest of it.
Yeah, well, that's right. There's obviously a lot of situations around the course which come down to just sort of instinctive decisions, and I think you have to obviously be very careful how you position the boat, and trying to always be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the game. But things happen very, very quickly, and and it's not unusual to make mistakes, and we've seen a lot of those in the top mark scenarios that have played out all the way through the qualifiers and the semis.
Over to Todd.
Peter, when you and the others get back to base, is there a celebration?
I'm not sure, to be honest. They're just pulling the boat out at the moment, and obviously we had a little training session afterwards. But no, for ourselves, this is definitely a little road on the way to our end goal, and now we're definitely here to try and win the next series, and then to try and bring the cup back to New Zealand. And now for ourselves, we're obviously really excited to get through this stage. It's been a massive effort for the shore crew, like I said earlier, to get the boat back to 100% after our capsize a couple of days ago, and to have it wrapped up with a spare day is incredibly pleasing. And now we're going to take that opportunity to keep working on the boat, and then we're really excited to watch what unfolds between the Artemis SoftBank battle tomorrow, like a lot of you.
Next to Ron.
Hi, for Peter, hi. If the wind had relented a bit yesterday and you'd have been racing in high winds, what sort of state would the boat have been in yesterday, and would there have been any doubt about you going out?
Yeah, well, it definitely wouldn't have been in as good a shape as it was today. That's for sure. And no, for ourselves, we were really, I suppose, thankful that we didn't get racing. We could have definitely got the boat back together, but I don't think it would have been in as good a shape as it was today. And looking forward, we're really glad that we did. We got lucky, and that day was not sailed, so we didn't have to go out with a boat that was not quite ready.
Chris?
Hi, Chris Museler from the New York Times. Maybe this is a question for everyone. It's a three races in a day for everyone, and I know they're short, but it seems pretty exhausting, and that's a lot of racing. And now, the more races you race in a series, like Nathan and Dean, you're racing more than some of the sailors. So I guess my question is, decision making becomes probably exponentially more difficult when you're just totally spent at the end of a race or at the end of a day. And so I know that the boats keep improving, and maybe you slow down that improvement on the boats as you get closer to really everything's important. Are you, for your rest and recovery, for the grinders, for the skippers, are you learning more about improving your bodies as the event goes on as well? Or are you just doing the same routines for your body recovery each night at the end of 2 days, 3 days, 2 races, 3 races? Are you changing the way you manage your bodies as you go through the series? Are you getting any better at it?
Nate, you want to jump in first?
I think the three of us up here are probably pretty happy we get to drive the boat because it's obviously the least physical job. But our grinding team have been working for 3 years for moments like today. They thrive on the physicality of the boat. We got massive guys, who are over 100 kilos, who are the reason why I'm so small. Is basically the smaller I get, the stronger they can become. And really, to answer your question, they work very hard on their recovery for sure. They've been developing different training philosophies as well as recovery techniques. And I think the thing that we did really well today was how we rotated our grinding team. We've got quite a deep grinding team of 10 people, and rotated through those guys today to make sure that we were fresh and ready to go. And I'm pretty sure they'll be, in the ice bath right now, getting some rest and having a big sleep in, because tomorrow's going to be a massive day, and, they'll be good for it. There's no doubt about that.
Peter, Dean, anything to add?
Like Nate said, it's the guys have been training very hard for a long time, to prepare well for multiple race days like we've had, and a lot of the practice race series, we've had more than 3 races in a day, and you learn, with the trainers and things, they work hard to help with the recovery, and the guys are all sort of very, very good athletes. They know how to sort of deal with the stresses and strains that they're sort of being put under, and they always sort of come back each day raring to go again.
Thank you. Luca, here.
Dean, from 3-1 to 3-4 is a big comeback. For a moment, your mind went to San Francisco, to the other big comeback?
Yeah, thanks, Luca. No, it didn't. No, it's we've known right from the start against Artemis it's going to be a tough battle, and we had a day like that a couple of days ago where we managed to win both races. Today, Artemis did a good job to get 3 wins. It could have easily been 2-1, but you've got to make sure you get rid of the mistakes and errors, and so they did a better job in general than we did today. So we'll come out tomorrow, and I think with the forecast being for pretty strong breeze, we're pretty excited about the challenge that we face with that.